Good morning, happy Saturday, good afternoon. It's just gone afternoon here in the UK. How are you doing? Happy birthday. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Remember, every day is your birthday. What are you doing to celebrate? It is raining here and it is pretty cold and I don't have my gloves, so my hands are freezing. So setting up this live has been a bit of a chore. Plus, I've been chatting to my friend Sophie, who's over in Bali. Now, earlier on today, it was pouring with rain, but I suspect it's probably a bit warmer over there, even so. She's on her way to her gym. I'm out on my run, and we've just been chatting about a couple of bits and pieces as well, so that's all fun. Good morning, Claire. Happy birthday. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a lovely day and looking forward to a lovely weekend. I've just realised I haven't got my list of names up, so I'm just going to crack those up on here, because I just recognised that Claire... Oh, what's happening here? My screen's gone funny. There we go. That's better. So anyway, happy birthday. So what are you going to tell your 20-year-old self? It's a good thing to do on a birthday, isn't it? Think about what used to be, what you might have done in the past. Great video linked in the comments, where Evan Carmicheal talks about a comment that Elon Musk was making when he was asked this question. So Elon Musk was asked this question, and he talked about sort of techie stuff and about a philosophy that he might instill in his younger self to carry his businesses forward. He calls it management by rhyme, which is an odd thing to do, but I think what he's basically saying is simplify things, make things easier and simpler, which is quite an interesting concept. And then Evan goes on to say that he hates that question. He hates being asked that question or used to hate being asked that question because he was never sure how to answer it. I should probably say happy birthday to Christopher, Claire, Jeanette, Jamie, Makeda, Bess, Bryn, Kim and Joe, and I'll say a little bit more about all of you a little bit, apart from the people who I don't really know that well, including you, Claire. Sorry, can't remember where I know you from. Happens quite a lot, this. Absolutely, very good, Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa, by the way, as well. Thank you for viewing me. Anyway, so Evan goes on to say that actually what he would tell his 20-year-old self is what he knows now. So his kind of philosophy now is believe. So he would go back to his, which I think is very similar to, yes, in fact, that's exactly what Vanessa just said. Believe in yourself more. Believe that you can do this. Believe it's possible. Believe in your success. So everything that he teaches people now about believing in themselves is what he would talk to and teach his 20-year-old self. And then he flips it round and says, of course, the problem with looking back at what you would tell your 20-year-old self doesn't help, because you can't do that. You can't go back and change your 20-year-old self. And we have this kind of depression about, I wish my 20-year-old self had known that back then. I also just realised I haven't put the timer up here, so this is going to be a bit tricky, isn't it? I'm going to have to try and keep this a little bit shorter so that I definitely keep it within 10 minutes. And then, of course, you are thinking about the anxiety of looking forward to the future. So this is something I always talk about, depression being mostly in the past, anxiety mostly in the future. And the anxiety from the future comes mostly from things that have happened to you in the past, that you've projected forward into the future, and is causing you concern in the future. So what he said basically was his 20-year-old self would actually probably tell his current self to believe in himself more as well. So it would be the same message. And then he flipped it and they said, so actually that message that you might tell your 20-year-old self, because you can't go back and tell your 20-year-old self that message, why not tell your current self that message as well? Now, when I go back to my 20-year-old self, I always say to him, invest in Microsoft and invest in Apple and buy Bitcoin when you get the opportunity and read these books when they come out. So it's all very much like, here's the history of your life and here's all the things you missed out on, so make sure you don't miss out on them next time round. But of course, that would be assuming I was going back to my 20-year-old self how many years it was ago, as opposed to telling my 20-year-old self now, which is usually where that question comes from. That question usually comes from somebody saying, I'm a 20-year-old person, what would you tell me right now? But of course, the whole world has changed and the whole world is a different place now than it was when I was 20. And so the things that I would tell a 20-year-old person now versus my 20-year-old self all those years ago would be completely different. However, some of these things, which is what Evan was kind of getting to, are kind of immutable things that everybody would tell everybody to be, which is believe in themselves, have faith that things will work out, learn more, and trust yourself more, all these kinds of things. And I think that's what we should be telling ourselves as well. So I think that question it could be flipped a little bit to say, and actually this is where Evan takes it one step further. He says, why not look forward to your 80-year-old self, or figure out how many years there are between now and when you were 20, and then add those on to where you are now, and think about that person who's 20, 30, 40 years in the future, what would they say to you right now if they were to come back to you right now? That's the real question, because that person would come back to you and say whatever you feel like you should say to them, and then you can take that forward in your life and go, right, so from today, because I can do something about today, I can't do something about my 20-year-old self. All I can do is, moving forward from today, do something about who I am now and what I'm doing right now in my life, which is a really cool way of looking at it. I hope I've summarized that well enough. There was something else I was going to say about that, and I can't remember what it was now. Maybe it'll come back to me a little bit later on. One other couple of other bits and pieces in the links below. There's a really cool book. Today's Blinkist book of the day is called Rituals, about the power of rituals. Very good, very interesting. It kind of takes what we used to do in religion, in rituals, and then takes them forward into a sort of secular, non-religious context, which is more currently where we are right now. And it's really clever about how you can use those constructs from religion in the past to affect our lives in the current environment, but without necessarily taking them in a religious context. So that's really cool. And then earlier on, I was listening to a short version, an even shorter version, of a thing called Indistractible, which is all about not being distracted. And he had this really cool thing, so it's just like a top tip for you, which is 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute rule, which is basically, I feel like I'm going to be distracted now and want to go and do something that's not my main priority right now. Put a timer on your clock and say, right, I'm going to be not distracted for 10 minutes. I can avoid that distraction, that feeling for 10 minutes. And in that 10-minute gap, either get on with the work that you should have been doing and then allow yourself to be distracted after 10 minutes, or just sit there and examine that feeling of that distraction going on inside you. How does that feel? What does it make you feel like? And then if you still want to, you can be distracted after 10 minutes, and that's fine. And that's the idea behind that concept, which I loved. And there's a link to the full Blinkist summary book in the comments as well, so that's cool. Okay, I think that's probably about 6-7 minutes now I've been talking for, so that's probably about right. There was another thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. Really good quote also heard this morning from Muhammad Ali, or at least attributed to Muhammad Ali. I haven't double checked the context, but it said, if my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it, which I thought was a really cool way of putting that. And that's kind of the sort of thing that your future self might come back and tell you right now. Well, if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then you can achieve it. And your future self is allowing you to say, yeah, get on with that right now, because you will achieve it if you put your mind to it and succeed and go forward with it. So that's really cool. Just a little happy birthday as well. I've said happy birthday to everybody already. Chris, Claire, Janet, Jeanette, I should say, actually, probably. Jamie Keeling, are you well? Makeda, lovely to see you again. Bess, always inspirational stuff online. Even if we don't always agree about the concepts, that's fine. Bryn Williams, not quite sure where I know you from, but I think you must be Cheltenham area. Kim O'Rourke, it didn't tell me it was your birthday today, but I had it in my calendar that it was your birthday today. So happy birthday to you. A little bit sneaky of me to have stuck you in there, even though Facebook didn't tell me it was your birthday. But I had it in my diary, so there you go. And of course, the President-elect, Joe Biden, is 78 today. So happy birthday, Mr. President-elect. Good luck on the next couple of months, which could be interesting times for those in America. Right, that's all from me. Sending you all love for the future. Take care of yourselves. Mwah, love you all. Have a lovely weekend. I will see you on Monday. And I've just realised I was supposed to normally say happy birthday to everybody whose birthday is tomorrow. So happy birthday. If it's your birthday tomorrow and you're watching this, happy birthday for tomorrow. I'll probably come back on Monday and say, I hope you had a lovely day on Sunday. Okay, take care. That's all from me. Hope that was less than 10 minutes, because it'd be great to be able to post that one onto other platforms. I've got 3 now backed up. Yikes. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye for now.